This is the KSM 66 version. This is what it looks like. This is the Shoden, it's a little bit darker. And then this is the Sensoril version. Sensoril and KSM 66 do have different benefits. Some things that Sensoril is more known for is supporting cardiovascular health, promoting a more restful sleep, and to support resistance to fatigue. Whereas on the other hand, KSM 66 benefits can include better memory, better cognition, better energy. Hey everyone, it's Mike. I review nootropics and top personal development, and during this video today we're going to talk about the differences between the three very popular extracts of ashwagandha, being the KSM 66 ashwagandha extract, the Sensoril form of ashwagandha extract, and then the new and improved ashwagandha extract called Shoden, which is known as being the most potent form of ashwagandha extract. But what form of ashwagandha is right for you? So what is ashwagandha? It's a small evergreen shrub that grows in India, it grows in the Middle East and parts of Africa. The root and the berry are used to make medicine, and it's commonly used for stress, but it's also used for improving sleep, improving testosterone levels, skin, aging, and much more. And so how it works is ashwagandha, it's an adaptogen, and what adaptogens do is they mimic the body's own stress-reducing hormones, and they increase the body's ability to recover from stress while creating an overall feeling of balance and normalization. So ashwagandha contains chemicals that may calm the brain, reduce swelling, inflammation, lower blood pressure, and alter the immune system. So what are the major differences between the three forms? Well, ashwagandha root extracts, they're a synthesized form of the herb made from either the root or the leaf. So in other words, it's a more potent form of the plant, which can be up to 8 times more effective than consuming pure root or the powder. Now, due to ashwagandha's popularity, there are hundreds of extracts available on the market, but the two most widely known extracts are the KSM 66 extract and the Sensoril, and now we have Shoden. But as extracts of the same plant, how could the three types of ashwagandha be that different? Sensoril, Shoden, and KSM 66. All three types have supportive clinical tests and trials with thorough research of the potential benefits of ashwagandha. So what is different about them and how do they compare? This is the KSM 66 version. This is what it looks like. This is the Shoden, it's a little bit darker. And then this is the Sensoril version. Most extracts of ashwagandha are standardized to 2.5% Withanolides, and Withanolides, they're the main active compound in ashwagandha that's responsible for helping the body to fight physical and mental stress. This means that 2.5% of the extract by weight is Withanolides, but Sensoril, on the other hand, this is standardized to 10% Withanolides. So the goal with the Sensoril ashwagandha was to be the most potent extract with the highest level of Withanolides on the market, which would mean that most people report Sensoril as being very calming. Often those with heavy stress wanting really good sleep, they'll typically prefer Sensoril over KSM 66 or the Shoden. However, though, KSM 66 opted for a different approach because their ashwagandha is standardized to 5% Withanolides, and they sought out to bring out an extract with natural ratios of the ashwagandha root, because it's not clear whether increased concentration of Withanolides is necessarily beneficial for stress resistance. As a matter of fact, surprisingly, the study here actually showed that an ashwagandha extract with a lower percentage of Withanolides was actually just as effective at reducing stress levels. They spent 14 years on research on development to bring out an ashwagandha extract that gives high Withanolides, but at the same time keeps the ratios in line with nature, which is how they came up with KSM 66, because they thought that it wasn't about necessarily getting the most Withanolides, but it's about keeping the proper ratios, and maybe perhaps this is one of the reasons why KSM 66 is often reported as safer. Sensoril and KSM 66 do have different benefits. Some things that Sensoril is more known for is supporting cardiovascular health, promoting a more restful sleep, and to support resistance to fatigue. Whereas on the other hand, KSM 66 benefits can include better memory, better cognition, better energy, better stamina, and better strength and muscle recovery. So deciding between KSM 66 and Sensoril depends on what you're looking for, because Sensoril Ashwagandha offers potential everyday stress and sleep support, whereas KSM 66 is seeing more in use of sports nutrition as a means of improving fitness and as well as improving productivity. So the question is, what's Shoden? And Shoden claims to be an innovative new patented high potency extract from the leaves and roots of the ashwagandha plant with an industry-leading 35% withanolide content. Shoden offers high bioavailability and demonstrated activity even at very low doses, taken only once per day. And that's been my experience. I'm not the biggest fan of Shoden, but there's no denying the fact that it works very quickly. I mean, exceptionally quickly. With the ashwagandha root, with the KSM 66 and the Sensoril, it'll typically take me a couple of weeks for me to start seeing the benefits as far as being calmer, being in a better mood, and just having slightly more energy. However, with Shoden, only after a couple of days, it was like my baseline mood was a lot better, and believe me, I was seeing the brighter side of everything. And one study specifically stands out to me after browsing all the research on Shoden and seeing what studies are available, because guys, this stuff is relatively new. This one study over here actually showed that taking only 120 milligrams of Shoden daily did result in having a much higher sleep quality. And there was two ways this happened. Firstly, the group that was taking Shoden, they were having a longer sleep session, and secondly, the group that was taking Shoden was actually having a better sleep quality because of the fact that they were having less time spent in like non-restorative sleep. Everyone, this is a big deal because it's a double benefit. Not only were they sleeping longer, but their sleep quality was increased, because theoretically, if you're somebody that sleeps 7 hours per day and you start taking Shoden on a daily basis while continuing to sleep 7 hours per day, you're going to get a much more restorative sleep. And there really are some good reviews you'll read about Shoden for sleep. This person over here mentions that it even helps them with their sleep apnea. But from my experience, when it comes to Shoden, I think the only way I would use it is in which I'm looking for the sleep benefit, generally for productivity, making more money, getting better grades. I think the KSM 66 is much better than not only Shoden, but Sensoril as well. And how Shoden pretty much compares to Sensoril's, come to think of Shoden like a better version of the Sensoril, because the majority of people who would be inclined to take the Sensoril would be looking for relaxation, an improvement in mood, and better sleep. Whereas with the Shoden version, you're able to achieve that and more. So the way in which I can see myself kind of incorporating Shoden into my nootropic stack is maybe taking Ashwagandha KSM 66 once per day, taking 500 milligrams during the course of the day, maybe once in the afternoon, and then taking some Shoden in the late afternoon or early evening so I can get the benefit as far as sleep and mood improvement is concerned. I really hope you found this information helpful. If you'd like a deep dive into how to take ashwagandha, then I would encourage you to watch this video over here. Don't mind giving the video a like, a comment, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more information about nootropics. And I will look forward to seeing you all next time. Take care, guys. First question, when should you take your ashwagandha? It's important to note that ashwagandha has a relatively short half-life. We're talking 2 to 4 hours, which means that 95% of the active compounds in ashwagandha are going to be gone after about 12 hours. So what this means is